I think that a lot of what the team did during the off season really has set them up well for how we can continue the success that we ended the year on. I think that looking at NCAA's and trying to figure out, okay, hey, how can we get men there with the women that we've had there the last couple go arounds. Um, you know, the men's national championship meet is one of the most difficult meets in the country, kind of regardless of what level of swimming you're at to get into. So it is super challenging. But I think that what we've kind of talked about a lot this fall is to have those goals, right? To put those out there and say, okay, this is what we want to achieve, but then just kind of like leave them there for a second, right? And really just focus on, okay, what are we doing day to day? Okay, let's not focus on the goal. Let's not focus on that time. Let's not worry about that, right? But what are we going to do today to make ourselves better? What are we going to do today to help like be on the road to that success? And I think that we've made some changes with some of our training and just kind of how we're going about things a little bit differently this year. And so far, the teams, both the men's and women's team, have really responded really well. But I think even more so on the men's side, like they have this kind of energy and aggressiveness that maybe I didn't see, at this time last year. And so I'm excited to see that. And they're just there's no other really way to describe it than just energy, right? And we're all kind of bringing it every day. They're working hard, we're having fun, and when we swim loose, we swim fast. And so they put in the work, and then when it's time to get up and race, they do it. And it's been fun to watch that a little bit, and we're excited to kind of actually get some real meets going here and see where we're at for real. We're fortunate where we don't have a whole lot of holes. We on the women's side, we graduated some really strong distance swimmers, so we certainly need to see some people step up in that area. We brought in some new first years that can help us in some of the stroke events. And so there's a couple areas there, but we're still pretty strong in sprint freestyle, mid distance freestyle. We've got some good strong 200 backstrokers, 200 breaststrokers, which we're really happy about. I think our relays are very strong on the women's side. I think they're really strong on the men's side too. I think that our guys tend to really get up into that competitive mode for those relays, and we just don't have a lot of holes. And so I think that it's exciting to see kind of where they're going to be. I think that's looking at the men, we lost some sprint freestyle, some mid distance freestyle, so we're gonna have some people that they're gonna have to step up there. We've got a lot of our distance group that's back from last year and are in even better shape than they were last year on the men's side, so that's good. Strokes, we've got pretty much all of our studs that we relied on last year back. And so, I feel like we're in a good spot. We didn't bring in as many first years on the men's side, and that was kind of by design. We already had a big team, so we didn't really need to bring in a big class. And frankly, we already had a lot of talent. And so, seeing where guys are going to step up, I think that's going to be the most exciting part for our upcoming season. On the men's side first, they're a much smaller group, but we've got a diver in there with some swimmers as well. I think with them, they're just really going to be adding some real solid depth, right? I think that, like I said, we lost some really talented people, but we had a lot already still coming back. And so, I was just looking to kind of like take a step up with our depth, right? And say, okay, even if someone's going to come in and not be our top whatever, if they're going to be in that 3-4, 2-3 spot somewhere in there, okay, great, that helps us, and then they can continue to develop. On the women's side, they're coming in with a little bit more to bring to the table. We like I said, we lost some distance swimmers, some mid-distance freestylers, so we brought some of them in. We've got a couple of breaststrokers that I think are going to, turn out really, really well for us. And so that's where I see them kind of making an impact, but really it's going to be kind of all over the place because they're the women are going to be contributing not only in individual events, but also putting in some relay spots, with some people that have shuffled around. So, I think that the impact maybe on the women's side may be a little bit higher, but that's not to say that the men are not going to make an impact. It's just different. But I think our teams were in a little different spot, going into the year. They're a great group. I think that when I look at the men's seniors, I look at there's some guys that have a lot of talent, have seen a lot of success and some school records and national championship meet berths, from that group. But I also see guys that are really good people and work really hard and are passionate about what they're doing, but do it in like this team centered way, which is really nice to kind of see and be around. Sometimes with swimming, it's more about the individual than about the team, but we always kind of focus on team, and these guys kind of embody that, and they're incredibly hardworking. They're incredibly focused. They're driven to be successful both in and out of the pool, and so that's great to see. On the women's side, they're a little bit larger group, and what I think about with the women a lot is they're like those kind of like mama bear roles, right? Like, and they kind of just own that, and it's awesome because yes, they've seen success. Don't get me wrong, and they are incredible leaders when it comes to showing up every day, doing the right thing, making the right decisions, working incredibly hard. But they're also very caring towards the team and very cognizant of what's going on around them and making sure they're lifting other people up, making sure that they're the first ones that are there to say, hey, like, what do you need? You're having a bad day, having an off meet, whatever. We're here to help, right? And it's like they're just kind of right on top of it. And I think that's really cool to see this year. And I don't know. I feel really good about kind of how our senior class has developed over the last couple of years, right? And I think that while they may not always be the most vocal leaders, they all do an incredible job of leading by example, and that speaks volumes on our team, and I think at a place like Case, where people aren't necessarily just as outgoing as other places, sometimes leading by example is better than being a vocal leader.